Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. And today, as the title says, how to good at Apex Legends. So, if you're watching this video and you're not that good at Apex, you just started out, you're trying to get good, got some tips for you. Now, before we move, you might be thinking, like, why should I be listening to someone who's level 128? Well, here's why. Is that I have hit gold last season. I'm a 2-time gold. All right? I'm a 2-time gold, which is good, and you should see these stats. I'm good at the game. I'm good at the game. This is why you should trust me when I give you these tips. So, our first tip today is we're gonna quickly go into the firing range. The first tip is, first off, start up Apex Legends, because you can't get better at Apex if you don't actually play it. Here in the firing range. So obviously, when you start out, you are going to want to play the tutorial, because if you've played shooters before, then you should be fine. So
I hear the beats of a heart.
yeah, you should be fine, because simple, like, quick rundown of if you've never played a shooter game, first person shooter. Aim down sights, pew 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 pew. If you need to, reload and then run. Now, when running in Apex, you definitely for a fact want to holster your gun. Now, if you don't know how to holster your gun, it is, so for PlayStation, you gotta hold down triangle. It's, whoops, not this. It's whatever your reload, it's whatever your switching weapons gun is. So for me, it's triangle. Now, let's start out with some guns. You should probably start out with some guns. You should start out with are definitely, I'd say, some of the easiest guns. Are probably, you should start out with the R301. If you can get good with this gun, you're good. Like, you should be good, and you should be set. So like right now, like, say if I get max attachments, right? Let's slap a 3x on this. We can, at first, your aim might be very, like, okay, maybe not that kind of beaming, but it might be, like, kind of hard to aim. So one thing is, if you're trying to long range, like if I'm going up here, right, and I'm up here and I'm looking, and I see this guy right here.
Enemy there.
I see this Pepega
Enemy
right
there.
here. What I can do is, whenever you shoot, your gun's gonna go up like that. So just with your look button, not like too serious, but you're gonna want to slowly and gently push down on your aim button, which it might be a little bit hard to aim, but you will be hitting a lot more consistent shots other than that time that I just did. Now,
Tossing Oxstar.
now, if you are shooting from long range and you're trying to kill, and you're trying to get someone, and you don't want recoil, when you pull your gun either left or right, there's no recoil at all. Now, if I'm shooting someone, this, and I move it left and right, yes, I can move left and right. That's leaving me shooting a lot of dead bullets. So, what you want to do is you want to move with them. So if I'm moving to the left, right? To the left, to the left. Then I'm going to want to pull to the left. So if I'm going this way, so if I'm turning to the left, I'm going to want to move right. So then my crosshair stays on him, and it's the same thing. Like that. Alright. Now say like we're using the R9, right? You can't really long range him from here. So what we're gonna do is say we just have like stock R9. We're going up against someone. We can do really with any kind of gun that's kind of full auto, burst. We're gonna want to do a crouch. We're gonna want to do strafing. Now, sometimes it's not kind of worth it if they're moving around to ADS, right? So what we're gonna want to do, we're gonna want to do strafing. So as you can see, I'm strafing right now. I'm doing that same thing that applies to aim smoothing, where if I move left or if I move right, I turn my thing left, or yeah, turn left. If I'm moving left, I turn it right. So then it just sticks, just keeps sticking onto him like this. Now if you want to, now another thing is, well, your ADS is definitely going to be a lot more consistent than hip fire, because I mean, you know, you're hip firing. Now what you can do is, yes, this might, you know, lower your chance of getting stuff or getting kills, is you can strafe left and right while crouching up and down. What this does is it makes your hitbox kind of move. It makes your hitbox harder because your hitbox gets smaller when you crouch. Your hitbox is regular when you're standing up. So if you keep going like this, you'll eventually be able to, you know, start hitting maybe some more consistent beats. Now you may be wondering, like, oh, now you at home are like, oh, but there, you know, I have so many. Okay, nice, we got some guns. Like, you know, Arthur 1 is like a really nice gun. I think it's really good for people to start out with, and a really good SMG to start out with is maybe not the R9, because I feel like the R9, all the SMGs have a high skill cap in my opinion. But if you're gonna use an SMG, the Volt SMG. This thing might not have the fire rate of the R9, but this thing basically has no recoil, and when you're sniping, when you're trying to get someone long range from here with R9, it's gonna be kind of hard. But with the Volt, it's a little bit easier. Like that. So if I would say use a combo. R301 for your AR, and Volt SMG for your SMG. That's really good. You have your primary, you have your secondary. Now you may be, well, you know, you might be going like, oh, I have some guns I can use, but what about all these characters? When I start out, you know, I have these 6 to pick from, but then when I unlock them, I have a whole bunch of, I have way more. There's what, 22 legends in the game? So, if you're starting out, I'd recommend using, like, cause usually, you know, the game starts you out with Lifeline. And, you know, I'm not saying anything against Lifeline. You know, like Lifeline, if you don't know, is the healer. So I get hit with this. We got the boy Doc. And if your teammates don't know, nope, you don't ping enemy. But if you look at Doc,
Contact with target.
oh my god, if you look at Doc,
Body shield here. Level 2.
you can,
Never mind.
you gotta look at this little ping thing up here.
Health over here.
Yeah, it said, you see, she went health over here. So that can let your teammates know about all that stuff. Then if you get her ult, it drops down a care package, and it gives you better stuff. I don't have time to show you that, because Lifeline, in my opinion, Lifeline's gonna be a legend that you use at the start, if you're gonna use her, and then you're just gonna toss to the side. Now, any starter legends. Now, most people probably go in towards Wraith because they're like, oh, she has a small hitbox. All the good characters, they, you know, all the good characters, they use Wraith, right? Yes, that is true. But I'd say she has a high skill cap. I feel like for most people, they'd also say the same thing. Because you can't just be going in, you know, like you're pushing a fight.
Going to phase.
You can't just be rushing in here. Like if I'm pushing in, as you can see, I do a little animation. So like say I have my gun out, right? And then, you know, I just did my phase thing. She does that little animation when she comes out of it. So when that happens, you can't use your gun at all. So if you're pushing in, and you have, say, you're going up against some guy, that gives them some free damage. That makes you easier to kill. Which obviously you don't want to die. You want to get champion, right? So I'd probably say maybe stick away and like try, like if you want to use Wraith, good on you. You can use Wraith. But I feel like to get good with Wraith, it's definitely going to take some time. Now another good pick that people see whenever they hear about Apex or like they see Apex is Gibby. Yes, you have Gibby. He places down his, you know, yeah, like you can't, but they can't shoot through it either. So you're just kind of safe in your little bubble until it eventually goes down like that. Then, because you're big, you got a big hitbox, you have your own little shield. You can toggle on or off. Now I'd say always keep the shield if you're ever taking fights. Always ADS. I know what I said earlier about you don't want to ADS, but when you're Gibby, you definitely want to. Because when you use your shield, you get an extra 50. This shield that I have up, this is an extra 50 shield. So say I have the max shield, the red Evo, the red armor. I have a total of 225 health, right? Because I have 100 base and 125 red shield. Then with this, an extra 50. Now I have 275 shields or health, which is insane. But I would also stay away from Gibby because of his ult, which is it's a circle of just bombs that just drop down, which you can easily kill yourself with it if you don't use it right. And also Gibby's a pretty big character. He's easy to beat. Now that I have 3 characters I would say you should probably use. Pathfinder, I feel like Pathfinder, yes, there's some advanced tech. Like, there's some where you can do like a big overarch throw and all of this like fancy stuff. But say like you're running away from someone. The easiest thing you can do is like say I zip onto this thing here. You can just look away, and if you look away from your grapple. That flings you far. And he's pretty good when pushing, because when he uses ults, he gives you a zip line. So I'd say you should probably pick him. And the other two are Bloodhound and Bangalore. Now, Bloodhound and Bangalore go in hand. So say you and your friend are just starting out. I'd say one of you use Bloodhound, the other one use Bangalore. That's because Bloodhound... Look, I just scanned them. Like, say I don't know where they are, and I just scan. Oh, I know where he is now. And now he's dead. Right? Which is really nice. And then his ultimate, Beast of the Hunt, makes him faster. You're able to scan more consistently. Like, it sets the cooldown really low. And it's really nice. He's really good for information. And when you put down a Bangalore smoke, you can just scan right through that smoke. You basically have wall hacks. Now, Bangalore, this is one of my favorite legends. And I'd say she has a really good kit. So say you're running, smoke. It's gonna be hard for them to see. And sometimes you can even pop your smoke and just kind of see if you can try and avoid them, and then you can run backwards. Will it work that often? No. Let's say you're fighting, right? One of your friends gets knocked. Smoke.
Giving him the chimney.
Pop a you can revive in the smoke, and you can't fully see in the smoke. Like in here, I can't see anything unless I get close to you. That's when I can see you, but I can still get that, but it's kind of still hard to see because you do have all that visual clutter. Now again, if you're attacking, when you pop your smoke, not only does the explosion do 10 damage, but again, Bloodhound smoke, you can see through that. And I'm about to introduce you to my friend, the 1x digital threat. This thing is a thermal sight. Now, you can't thermal sight from halfway across the map, but you definitely can see them through the smoke, which is really nice. Now, say you get to level where you're able to get a new legend. Whatever you want, you can get if you like to know where people are. If you like knowing that, okay, there's someone in here, there's someone close by, I'd say Seer. He's who I main. You're able to hear heartbeats of enemies. You're able to scan enemies. His ultimate scans enemies. If you want to kind of stay more rooted in a certain area, you can get either Watson, Caustic. No, it's not Caustic, but I'm hovering over him. Caustic or Rampart. They're very good at defending. And then if you like to kind of just go all in, you can use anyone like Mid Maggie, Ash, Revenant, Horizon. If you use any of these characters. And that's my tutorial on how to good at Apex Legends. I hope you all enjoyed. Catch you in the next one.
21 minutes until I gotta go, so I told that girl I'm gonna slaughter it.